G'day guys, how you going? Welcome back to Zuccoli Aspire Market Update for May 2016. I'm lucky today, or you guys are lucky today, to have both of our development managers for Costa Jig Zuccoli Aspire here. You've got Mike Shockman down on your far right. Say g'day, Mike.
Hello.
No, testing, 1, 2. Yeah. And we've got Hermanus Lau, who you met in the last market update, and of course you all know Adam McCann, who is our sales manager out at Zuccoli Aspire, and myself, of course, Glenn Grant, the general manager of Raine&Horne in Darwin. Now, good news. We're running into we've got titles on 1A, which is pretty exciting stuff, and running into settlement this week. They start coming up. You tell me, Mike.
Yeah, no,
Thursday. Start settling on
Thursday, so
yeah.
People get their title and they can start building straight away.
Fantastic. So there concludeth 1A, and it went along pretty rapid rate of knots at time, and then slowed up for a little bit. Hermanus was telling us before a few difficulties that were experienced in the stage. Now, the big question on everybody's lips on the Zuccoli Aspire discussion forum, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to pitch this one to you to start with, Hermanus. 1B, where are we up to with that? How, like we were saying, about 6 to 8 difference in timeline to 1A. Mm-hmm. Is that where we're at the moment?
Yeah, I think we're still in that time frame. At this point, I haven't got the final program from the guys that give me an exact date of when we sign to hand over to different authorities. I'm expecting to get that Thursday morning. But yes, we're looking towards the second to third week of June. Mm-hmm. We're now looking to finish the stage, and then obviously from there it's handing over to the authorities and then getting all the sign-offs, which is, as I always say, out of our control, unfortunately.
Yep.
But yeah, as we always said, 6 to 8 weeks, we're still in that time frame now. So.
Now, one of the interesting questions that we've got, and I'm going to pose this one to you, Mike. Initially, when we started off, the difference that we were looking at between 1A and 1B, we were quoting, I know Adam was quoting, was 12 weeks. You recall the separation between the two was we were looking at, final quarter of this and starting quarter of the next. It was around about 12 weeks we expected between the separation, wasn't it?
Yeah, the challenge was, 1A took longer than it needed to, so 1B, but we sort of caught up too between 1A and 1B. So look, we're delivering as quick as we can. The folks on site are hammering away.
Yeah, one of the questions, and I know a lot of people looked at it and went, okay, yeah, well they're thinking that as well. And I just want to get a bit of clarity for you guys out there. When we're saying 6 to 8 weeks timeline separation, we're talking about handover of works, which was around about, when was handover of works on 1A?
26th of, what was it, March, I think, sorry.
26th of March. So, is that right? 26th of March?
Yeah.
So 6 to 8 weeks from there is when we talk about somewhere in that timeline. We expect the handover of works to be 6 to 8 weeks from when the handover of works was on 1A. And similarly with titles are issued on the April the...
No, it's 14th of April, sorry. The
14th
of April was handover, final handover.
Final handover, yeah.
That's right.
And then titles are issued on April, do you remember?
18 days ago.
18 days ago, whatever that was. So then you're expecting 6 to 8 weeks from there as to when your titles come out, somewhere around that time frame. One of the questions that was on the Zuccoli Aspire owners group was somebody asking me about the fact, why is there still 6 to 8 weeks to go? Because, I thought we weren't going to run into the problems that we had in 1A. There was always a 12-week separation when we sold, wasn't there? Macca, you were telling people 12-week separation between 1A and 1B. Well, now there's a 6 to 8 week separation. So the gap has actually closed up, and that would suggest that perhaps the process has been refined somewhat.
I would say so. I think from what we've had in stage 1A to what we've got in 1B now, and then going forwards in precinct A and B, I think the process, not just from a construction perspective, but also from a design and documentation perspective, has been improved quite dramatically.
Yeah.
I think the guys as a team is now working together. They know what their goals are. They know what they need to produce. They found their feet now, I think, as I speak. So stage 2 design is progressing rapidly. So the release that you guys have, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it soon.
We're going to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, that design is progressing rapidly. And then just to come back to A and B again, A and B, as the guys on site may have seen, A and B is currently being constructed in one stage. So all of that land is now cleared, and
this is A1 and B1.
Yep. Yes. So
okay. Yeah, which is part of stage 5.
That's
yep.
Right.
Yep.
So and the bulk earthworks for that stage is being undertaken this week, and within the next week or so they'll start the servicing of that stage.
So with A1 and B1, sorry, before we move off of 1B, the date was somewhere in June is title or
practical completion of the stage.
Practical completion start of June.
That's the start of the handover to authorities.
Okay, so
that's when all the works are physically done in the ground.
Yeah.
A short slide, and then we just have to wait.
So completion of works start of June. Keep your eyes peeled for that one, and then from there it's the process through government for issue of title, and then the process through conveyancing for settlement. Okay, and that's the way that it's progressed on 1A. A1 and B1 being developed together at the moment. Will they be completed together or they're completed separately?
At this point, we're still working as if they'll be completed as one. Depending on the complexities on site, once we start getting into the ground, we will determine if we'll hand them over as one or as two different stages.
Because you can encounter rock in one stage and... Yeah.
Exactly, and that's some of the issues we've had in stage 1, for instance, some of the rock we've hit. We don't think we'll have so many of those issues in precinct A and B.
Yep.
However, there's always scope for risk. So we'll leave it open and see what happens towards the latter quarter of this year, once we start handing that stage over.
Okay, good. Now, so and that sort of time frame, you're saying last quarter of, that's the completion of works, last quarter of 2016 for A1 and B1.
That's right.
Okay, all right. And then Mike, now, exciting stuff that we've got. Mac is very excited. He's got his pen poised, ready to start signing contracts. We've released 2A and 2C. I know that sounds weird, but Mike's going to tell you why. 2A and 2C out of stage 2.
Yep, so, so stage 2, so we've now got our development permits for stage 2, which is 206 lots. The bulk of them are of the single dwelling type. And just we've got it's right next to our park there, so very excited by that. We split into 3 stages for convenience. We'll be constructing 2A to 2C. You could call it anything you want, but just happens to be in that sequence from an engineering and servicing standpoint. So there's around about 2/3 of the lots in that. It's about 130 odd lots which are now released. So yes.
Starting price, Macca, from
136.
136,000. What size are they?
345.
345. Good, excellent.
And on the pricing methodology, so when we looked at the previous stages and which ones we found were popular, obviously the total price points that we're looking at with the house and land packages, we're very competitive, we're seeing with the builders. So we've tried to maintain those prices. So we have done some rejigging between some of the small lots and bigger lots and balancing it, but overall the pricing is very similar compared to the previous stages. So we've tried very hard to maintain that.
Okay. Now, question I got the other day as well, Jackie, I think it was you. Question I got the other day in relation to shopping precinct. What stage is that in? Is that stage 3? Is that how it works?
I think at this stage, well, look, there's a lot of work that we currently undertaking to determine our future stages. So there's different elements of our design process that we currently undertaking. That's servicing, demand, land suitability. So we're working through that process at the moment where our engineers are determining where we'll put the next stage. At this point, it probably look like the next stage will include portions of the centre of the site, and then a portion at the top where the school will go, and that's required from government.
Yep.
But then in terms of where the shopping precinct itself is going, we estimate it'll probably go in the stage 4, and that's because we sat down with some of the key tenants there, and they're telling us that 2018 is probably the time it'll work for them in terms of overall demand within Zuccoli and within Rosebery and Ballamac and the areas in the neighbourhood. So once we have more clarity on it, and once we're more certain in terms of timing and what's actually going to go in there, we can't wait to show it to people. Because we kind of have an idea what it looks like already, and it's going to be very exciting. You know.
And a key point out of that is, so when we do our initial planning on stages, we kind of do an estimate. We always thought the school would come later as opposed to earlier. So you need kids before you can open the school. Well, as it turns out, the Department of Education is pulling that timeline closer than when we initially expected. Hence not a swap per se, but just a rethinking on which is going to go first, town centre, school. So that's why we're just working on that. So obviously there's a lot more work to do to actually work out details and get it delivered, but next year is probably going to be more focused on the school construction rather than the shopping centre construction. Now, having said that, we don't determine the school timelines. That's always driven by the
I was going to say, you're not involved in any of the building of the school or anything.
No.
That's all education department, and then they appoint or they have a tender process and appoint a builder from there.
Yeah, for the school. So we do the servicing for the school, and it's up to them to do what they need to do to deliver the actual school. But obviously we need to do the services before they can construct and open the school. So their timeline is whatever the NT government needs, but at this point we're in our plans we're pulling that forward.
One of the things I didn't explore just quickly on 2A and C, what sort of timelines are we looking at on delivery of them? Is that first quarter of 2017 or?
That's what we've been, that's our goal at this point.
Okay.
So look, we have a better idea on how long things should take with the current process that we've got.
That's a carton for Mikey's phone just rang. Yeah.
Can you cut that? So we have a good handle on that. So at this point in time, that's a good estimate.
Okay, good. Great, I think that's pretty much all the questions. What questions are you getting out there, Macca, or anything you'd like to?
Just people, they want to know when stage 2, I want to know when. It's all about people that have purchased now, they're looking at delivery time. So I'm copying 10 to 12 a day, every day and night. But it's, if I was in their position, I'd be wanting to know too. So
would I be fair to say that, guys, that you're pretty keen to get it delivered as quick as possible too?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it. It's not like we're going on a holiday.
No.
We're just not going to do any work on it for a bit. And,
Just so you know, Mike actually worked over the entirety of Christmas. He was the only person in Darwin, I think, wasn't it, Mike? Did you have Christmas Day off?
I did have a beer by my side, so
right. Okay, that's good.
All good.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say, Amanus?
No, I think the guys who's obviously purchased in stage 1A and they're about to settle and like start construction even next week already. I think it's very exciting days for them. And if you've gone to site recently, you may have noticed at the end of Bloodwood Street there's some construction work happening. That's the park. That's where we're putting the playground in. So 2 months from now, I'd say you'll see quite a fair bit of structures going up there, and it's almost at the handover point of when we hand it over to council. So that'll be quite exciting. And obviously we've seen what it looks like. It's exciting.
It is an exciting design. There was something else I was going to ask. Of course, Display Village is in 1A, and in the Display Village you've got
19 builders, 24 homes.
24 homes in the Display Village, which will be the biggest one ever in Darwin.
Yeah.
So 24 homes. What sort of timelines are the builders telling you on that? Because they'll all be settling over the next week. What sort of timelines are they saying for construction there and then display homes?
Look, it is within their contract. They've got 6 months to deliver it, but obviously we'll consult with the builders, and if they're all ready within 4 months, then we'll obviously have an opening in 4 months. But if they're going to be ready in 5, so we'll liaise with the builders as well as much as we possibly can, because we don't want to do a big grand opening, I wouldn't have thought, with only half a village. So
6 months is definitely going to be before Christmas. We might be towards the end of the drive.
Yeah.
For the opening.
Yeah.
That'd be good timing.
Good Actually, just before you guys came in, I got a call from a builder who says he wants to settle on Thursday and start building straight away.
Right.
They want to finish first in the display village. So, and you've got a builder that said the same thing to you. So I think
there's 6 of them that I know of that are having a race. There might be beer involved, but then we can get there something quick.
You're waiting beer or something.
Now on other exciting stuff too, we've got our signs coming, which will be great. We'll have the big Zuccoli Aspire sign down there. Didn't we know the delivery time on that one? The big one? It's a couple of weeks away or something. The reason why I say that is because, of course, you guys will actually be able to get down there and take a photo in front of your Zuccoli Aspire sign and Facebook it. That'll be fantastic, won't it? Give us all that advertising for Zuccoli Aspire.
I believe the lot signs are going in soon, isn't it?
Yeah, lot signs will be going in the next week or so. Yeah. So once they're in down there, it'd be great to. We might run a bit of a competition, I think, among us to see who gets the most likes and exposure on their Zuccoli Aspire lot sign. sign. What do you reckon?
I
Sounds
think
good.
there's enough people on that place to do it though.
Well, Stephanie, we might have to get you onto making sure that competition runs. You're our girl for that one. All right, thank you very much, guys. Nothing else you wanted to say, Mike?
No,
Great.
okay,
Fantastic. And hopefully you guys got some answers to some of your questions. Have a great day. See you again next time.
See you later.